morning. Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to morning news source, only here at the Daily Tribune. We're live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and the Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For today's headlines. The Department of Energy said petroleum companies will implement staggered fuel price increases from March 17th to the 23rd. Ferdinand Marcos Jr. posted a 36% approval rating against 45% disapproval in the latest survey by Pulse Asia, amid concerns over high prices and a weakening peso. Levito Baligod accused the government of suppressing information about alleged coup plots after photos showed heightened security around Malacanang Palace. Donald Trump urged North Atlantic Treaty Organization partners and China to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz after Iran effectively closed the key oil route. A nationwide blackout hit Cuba as the Union Electricidad de Cuba cited fuel shortages linked to a U.S. oil blockade. San Miguel Corporation reported a net income of $94.7 billion in 2025, driven by strong profitability, investments, and foreign exchange gains. The 2026 Oscars celebrated artistry, passion, and personal stories as Michael B. Jordan, Jessie Buckley, and Paul Thomas Anderson took home top honors. Today is March 17th, Tuesday, and I'm Eliana Lacap, bringing you today's top stories. Let's kick things off with today's weather. Today, the northeast monsoon or amihan will bring cloudy skies with light rains over Luzon, Batanes, Cagayan. Isabela, Apayao, and Aurora will have light rains with no significant impact. Metro Manila and the rest of Luzon will see partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains. The rest of the country will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms due to localized thunderstorms with possible flash floods or landslides. Winds are moderate to strong in northern and eastern areas, light to moderate elsewhere. Now for a traffic update. Light traffic is reported at Balintawak Toll Plaza, Mindanao Toll Plaza, Bukawi Toll Plaza, and San Fernando northbound and southbound lanes. Maykawayan northbound has the leftmost lane and lane number 1 and used as a counterflow, with approximately 300 meters of traffic buildup. The leftmost lane of the East Service Road from Ever Memorial Garden to Luptong Maykawayan is open as a supporting lane for all northbound vehicles. Approaching Maykawayan River Bridge southbound, the middle lane and lane number 2 is closed for ongoing safety repair works, with vehicles moving at 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. Counterflow is active in the opposite direction. All other areas of NLEX, SATEX, and NLEX connector, including toll plazas and interchanges, report light traffic. Now let's move on to this morning's headlines. The Department of Energy announced steep fuel price increases starting March 17th, with gasoline rising by 12.90 pesos to 16.60 pesos per liter, diesel by 20.40 pesos to 23.90 pesos, and kerosene by 6.90 pesos to 8.90 pesos due to high global oil prices and Middle East supply disruptions. Energy Secretary Sharon Garin said the government is seeking alternative suppliers through the Philippine National Oil Company as export restrictions affect supply. Meanwhile, transport group Piston plans a nationwide strike on March 19th to protest rising costs, while the Department of Social and Welfare and Development will provide 5,000 peso fuel subsidies to tricycle drivers in Metro Manila. Now, a Pulse Asia survey shows President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s approval rating at 36%, with 45% disapproving, reflecting waning public confidence amid a weaker peso and rising prices. In contrast, Vice President Sara Duterte holds a 55% approval rating, with higher nationwide trust. The poll found 44% of Filipinos distrust Marcos, while 35% trust him. Inflation tops public concerns at 59%, followed by corruption at 47%, and calls for higher wages at 36%, underscoring economic pressures on Filipino households. Now, lawyer Levito Baligod accused the government of suppressing information amid reports of heightened activity by alleged coup plotters after photos showed increased security around Malacanang. Images reveal the razor wire, barricades, and more personnel along Mendiola, Nicanor Padilla, and Arlegui streets. Baligod called the alleged group a third force of 41 selfish individuals who protect thieves. Retired General Romeo Poquiz warned of possible staged incidents to justify a takeover. The United People's Initiative stressed adherence to the Constitution and non-violence. The Armed Forces of the Philippines has yet to comment. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump urged NATO allies and China to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz, closed by Iran amid the U.S.-Israeli conflict. The closure sent global oil prices up to 40 to 50%. Trump asked countries including China, France, Japan, South Korea, and Britain to escort tankers, warning non-cooperation would jeopardize NATO and his planned summit with Xi Jinping. Tehran, meanwhile, called on nations to avoid escalating tensions, emphasizing restraint in the Gulf region. More international news. Cuba suffered a nationwide power outage on Monday after its national electric grid collapsed, leaving about 10 to 11 million people without electricity in the midst of a worsening energy crisis. The state grid operator confirmed a complete shutdown of the system as crews worked to restore power. The blackout comes amid several fuel shortages worsened by a de facto U.S. oil blockade that has cut off major imports and strained Cuba's aging infrastructure, previously causing recurring outages. Essential services have been disrupted, fueling public frustration as citizens adapt to life without reliable electricity. Now, San Miguel Corporation reported a net income of 94.7 billion pesos in 2025, driven by stronger business performance, investment gains, and favorable foreign exchange movements. Core net income rose to 52% to 79.6 billion pesos. Operating income grew 13% to 181.6 billion pesos, and EBITDA increased 16% to 262 billion pesos. Consolidated revenues hit 1.5 trillion pesos, with food, spirits, and infrastructure units offsetting softer crude prices. Petron boosted a record of 15.6 billion pesos. San Miguel Global Power surged to 290% to 48.3 billion pesos, and SMC Infrastructure earned 14.8 billion pesos. Chairman Ramon S. Ang cited the value of a diversified portfolio and disciplined execution in navigating market changes. Now, the 2026 Oscars celebrated standout performances and filmmaking, with Michael B. Jordan, Jessie Buckley, and Paul Thomas Anderson taking top honors. Jordan won Best Actor for Sinners, honoring family, mentors, and trailblazing actors who inspired him. Meanwhile, Jessie Buckley earned Best Actress for Hamlet, dedicating her award to women who persevere and reflecting on motherhood. Meanwhile, Paul Thomas Anderson took Best Director for One Battle After Another, emphasizing teamwork and mentorship. Meanwhile, Filipino-American Autumn Dorald Akpao won Best Cinematography for Sinners, celebrating collaboration and encouraging recognition for women in the industry. The night highlighted personal journeys, creativity, and the power of collective effort in filmmaking. Now, denied the win in their last outing, Creamline faces Farm Fresh Foxies on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. in Santa Rosa, Laguna, seeking a qualifying round spot in the Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference. Creamline dropped to 5-2 after a 4-set loss to Akari, intensifying the fight for the final two prelim berths. Farm Fresh, boosted by a 5-set win over Chocomucho, will lean on Tisha Tubu and setter Alohi Robbins Hardy. Creamline counters with Gemma Galanta and Tots Carlos, supported by Bernadette Pons, Michelle Gumabaw, Pangs Panaga, and Bea De Leon. Akari opens at 4 p.m. against Gallery Tower. Now, a quick look at today's horoscope. Today calls for steadiness and practicality, Taurus. The vibe favors calm, deliberate moves over drama. Focus on sorting your life, protecting your peace, and handling small tasks without rushing. Clarity about your needs helps you set better boundaries, and simple, practical choices today can prevent stress later in the week. Embrace the slow and steady energy for a surprisingly satisfying and productive day. Now, Katribu, did you know that on March 17, 1957, President Ramon F. Magsaysay, the beloved champion of the Filipino masses, tragically died at the age of 49 in a plane crash in Cebu? Born on August 31st in 1907 in Iba, Zambales, Magsaysay became the Philippines' seventh president in 1953, winning the hearts of Filipinos with his selflessness, leadership, and dedication to the common people. On March 16, 1957, while returning to Manila after a speaking tour in Cebu, his presidential plane on Mount Pinatubo collided with a tree on Mount Manungal, causing a fiery crash. Only one passenger, reporter Nestor Mata, survived. Vice President Carlos P. Garcia assumed the presidency, and an estimated 2 million Filipinos attended Magsaysay's burial at Manila North Cemetery on March 22, 1957. Magsaysay's legacy endures through its efforts in land reform, fighting communism, and international diplomacy, as well as the Ramon Magsaysay Award, established the same year to honor exemplary leadership. Now, this morning's viral comes from a TikTok user at Tatay Gold and has racked up already 18.8 million views. It's what should have been a simple reaction video of tasting that viral Dubai chewy cookie quickly turns into an unexpected laugh. Netizens couldn't get enough, with one commenting, "Sa sobrang sarap, hindi na binitawan." Let's watch this.
Ay, no le lame.
And that's all for now, mga katribu. Join us again at 1 o'clock p.m. for more updates. This has been Eliana Lacap for Tribune News on Q.